Hey y'all, it's Zoe and welcome back to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing things that I am tired of hearing as an adoptee, or things that can just get really tiring if you are adopted. I was trying to debate like how many to list, and I was like, well, I could do as many as my age because I've heard these my whole life, but then I was like, no, that's way too many and I don't even know if I could think of that many. So instead I just made a list and it ended up being 7 things. So we're gonna do the 7 things I'm tired of hearing as an adoptee. So the first one is just medical forms or forms in general. I get so tired of forms because it's really difficult knowing your background, especially my medical history. So asking about family history anytime I move somewhere or get a new doctor or they need to update my records. Whenever I was in the hospital, asking about family history, anything related to genetics, things like that. When like my friends are talking about their hospitalization and like hospital photos and who they look like, things like that. And then just forms in general, like applications or anything about myself, like asking me where I was born and not having the right answers, not having the right drop-down menu, asking about both parents when I only have one, which shouldn't just be for adoptees. There are lots of people who live with their biological families who only have one parent. So not being able to have an NA for parent 2 should not just be an adoption thing, but it is for me because I grew up with a single mom. Asking me specifically about like birth parents, things like that. Yeah, it just gets really tiring over and over again. Number 2 is the same questions over and over, always asking where I'm from, where am I really from? A bunch of questions like about my adoption, or just like, oh, well, like you don't speak the language, or why don't you speak the language, or things like that. It's just really tiring. And kind of along with language, like pressure to always speak it, or things like that. Like, yes, I wanted to speak it, and yes, I want to get good at it, but I want to do that on my own terms and my own time. Being told certain things, so for example, I should be grateful, like I'm so lucky, things like that. It just gets really tiring. Explaining my situation, so always explaining my adoption, what my adoption is. Don't get me wrong, like I love being adopted and I love telling people about it, but sometimes explaining it over and over again can get really tiring, especially if people aren't really understanding or don't really know like what's going on, or don't really know what adoption is. So like when I was in Taiwan, having to explain it a lot. When I started Chinese school here, having to explain it a lot. Anytime I go anywhere new, having to explain it. I guess finding the right time to bring it up. Like, I love telling my adoption story. I think it's really a really cool story, but sometimes it can be tiring when like you're in a place and like everyone's asking about my birth parents. Especially growing up, I always got the, are you mad at your birth parents? Do you want to find your birth parents? Do you like your birth parents? Do you know your birth parents? This, that, and the other. And honestly, like, I don't know how to answer those questions, and I don't know if I want to answer those questions, and I don't know if I want to answer them to you because I barely know you. So let me worry about my own birth parents on my own time and what I want to do with them, and if I want to look for them is totally up to me. Real. Oh my gosh. This should have been like if I had to rank these, this would be number 1, numero uno. I absolutely hate the word real in front of the word parents, because oh my god, it's such a pet peeve of mine. But it's just like, is she a real mom? But she's not your real mom. Your real mom's in China. Like, no, bro. Like, oh my god, I hate when people use the word real when it comes to parents, even if you're not adopted. Like, my friends that I know who are biological to their parents, they call them real parents too. And I'm just like if you have step parents, if you live with your grandparents, maybe your grandparents adopted you, maybe an aunt or an uncle adopted you, like, I hate the word real parents, real grandparents. Just no. I kind of talked about it in my last video for NAAM, but like, it's a really big pet peeve of mine. Okay, and then the last one, I didn't realize how fast I'd get through these, but the last one is, you look like blah 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 blah. I get told all the time that my sister and I look alike, which I don't think we do. And then when I say that someone looks like their sibling who's biologically related to them, they're like, no, we don't. I'm like, well, you look more like your sibling than I look like mine, because at least you share DNA. Also being told that I look like another Asian person, or that all Asians look alike. And like, I hate the stereotype that all Asians look alike. And, you know, I have found non-Asians to look like too. So it's not just Asians. But I don't like being told that I look like someone unless it's a celebrity, because then that'd be cool. Or if it was like a doppelganger, then that's something different. But being told that I look like, or like asking if I know someone just because they're Asian or just because they're adopted, like, no, that's not how this works. Those are not, yeah, not fun things to get asked or to answer. So yeah, that was my list. I know it was pretty short. Like I said, it was 7 things. I really did think I'd be talking about this for longer. But if you have things that you're tired of as an adoptee, let me know in the comment section. I'm really curious to know. I know I got kind of heated there at the end, but I have really strong opinions about the word real, especially when it's used in the context of adoption. So yeah, that is my little TED Talk, my soapbox. Thanks for listening to it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!